Welcome, everybody, golds and above. Thank y'all for trusting us to lead you tonight and for joining us. We're super excited. We've been talking about this for a couple of weeks now and are really pumped to share this with you. So, give me just a second. I will share my screen. Maybe. Ah, here we go. Okay. I promise this is not about the carnival. So chess or whack-a-mole? Does anybody have a guess at what we're talking about tonight? And I just gotta
Strategy
say,
or chance?
okay,
Ooh.
strategy. Ooh, I like that. Are you leading our next gold call?
Next move. That's a good guess.
Yeah. Okay. This is supposed to work, but it's not working. Hang on just a second. I don't know what's up with my Canva. It is not doing its thing. Close. Ah,
Are you trying to click the screen?
yeah, I'm trying to click for the next thing and it's not, it's adding. Ah, there we go. All right, so tonight we're going to be talking about becoming a proactive versus a reactive leader. Y'all, I am a very visual person, and so when Jesus does the parables, I am like, I think he was talking to me because I am a word picture person. If I am going to learn something that sticks with me, it needs to be associated with something that I can visualize in my head. So, um, in this realm, chess is a very strategic game. You're thinking three steps ahead. You're trying to beat your partner's next move, and just planning and strategizing. Whack-a-mole is literally just a game of reaction. The mole pops up and you whack, and you're just, going at it like crazy. And so a lot of times I think that's how we are in business. So, tonight we are going to identify the differences in being a proactive or reactive leader. And you may already have an idea in your head of which category you think you land in. And so, we're going to kind of help narrow that down for you so you know exactly where you stand. We're also going to learn how to recognize and anticipate stressful seasons. That way, you don't feel like you're just always in the hamster wheel. And we are also going to learn how to plan ahead for the seasons in your business. So hold on to your britches because Jordan's about to let go.
And she says that, but hi, I'm Jordan Gibson. If you don't know me, this is Amy's baby. Like she came up with all of this because she is a proactive leader. And so what even is the difference, right? A reactive leader is someone who they respond to their situations as they happen, right? They're like, "Oh, crap, this is happening." And it's not like I knew this was coming. And a proactive leader click. I know what it is, but I'd rather read it. Anticipates what's coming, right? The seasons, the challenges, and they are able to plan and make sure those things happen before they arise, right? So we can plan for growth because that's what we're always planning for in our business, right? Go ahead to the next one. So we're going to break down the two. And y'all, if you get a little like, oh, shoot, that's me. That's what these calls are for. It's not for shame. It's not for anything other than now you know, and we're going to be able to move forward better, right? And so, are you reactive? Are you a reactive leader? You find yourself putting off your IPA when you feel motivated, when things are going good, right? It's sometimes really hard to work in our valley seasons, right? It's sometimes hard to work when things are not going well. But if you're not planning for those things, it's going to be even harder, right? You wait until things get hard to find a way out of it. That is being very reactive. Keep going. You comfort yourself with, I'm just in that season. We will talk about the season talk in a couple slides because, man, have we used this as an excuse, right? I'm just in a season. Wait, because we're gonna go deeper into that one. If you're reactive, you probably haven't helped people in months. Okay. And you can use the excuse that I only have business conversations. I do too, y'all, and I'm still signing up VIPs. So that's the difference between reactive, proactive. You wonder why your team isn't adding people each month. What's going on? We're not working. We're in our season. Our numbers are low. Okay, that's probably because you're being a little reactive. You don't know what each month's promos are or how to leverage them. If you are a gold and you're asking in the gold chat what's going on this month, you are not being proactive in going to the website. We have an incredible FAQs. I was about to say Q&A. FAQs. You as a leader know what's going on, and whether you have a team to convey that to or not, you still know for yourself and for your business what is going on. And I think we have one more on this one. Right.
Ah, sorry.
You're fine.
I was looking at the chat.
You're good.
I don't know what my deal is today.
This is like reminds me of like the
What the
old
freak?
porno.
I
This
was
reminds
trying
me
to
of the
hide
old
everything. Here we go.
PowerPoint. You're
Yeah,
fine. When you had to like make transitions for everything. That's
there
I
you
just love
go.
this. This is taking me back. Okay. Ooh, maybe like the feelings of your reactive seasons are anxiety and stressing your business. And those have no place in our business, right? We cannot show up as a leader we want to be when we're feeling anxiety because we didn't plan, because we didn't prepare our teams the way that we need to prepare them. And so, man, that is such a good reminder. So, what does it even look like to be proactive? And some of these things, y'all, you might be very kind of like reactive in some things and proactive in others. And so, we're here to mesh them all together, right? To do better the next month, the next week, the next couple of days. So, if you are a proactive leader, you're making your IPA a priority, okay? Instead of saying, I'm in that season or I was too busy today, you are intentionally setting aside time to get your crap done, right? To do the things because that's what leaders do. You're equipping your team with skills, mentorship, and resources before they need it. Okay, if you're a gold, you're already probably two steps ahead from the people on your team, and you're able to show them how to go gold, right? You're able to at least show them something that they don't know, right? That is being proactive. It's even maybe sending them a resource like, hey, when maybe they haven't even gone silver yet, like, hey, when you do refer your next person, make sure you go in your back office and you click that toggle so that as soon as you refer someone, you upgrade to brand ambassador. And that puts off a whole, and I'm talking to myself because I just had a silver who is waiting for her BBB. No, I'm sorry, not a silver, a girl who was waiting for her bonus and we hadn't upgraded her yet. And I was like, I just assumed you did. So I was a little reactive in that sense. And so little things like that that are going to help our girls see momentum and see the wins instead of feeling frustrated that something has gone wrong, right? Especially our new girls, our girls trying to go silver and beyond. You plan ahead with vision, okay? Planning ahead is great, but like with vision for and Jordan's really good, right? Of breaking this down for us, through her levels of 3, 6, 3 month plans, 6 month plans. What are your 9 month plans? And so, but looking ahead with vision, like it's not just I want to be emerald in 6 months. Yeah, everyone does. But what is the vision of, this year, this next 6 months? And setting your goals with your future in mind. Again, we'll have the season talk in just a second. You anticipate the difficult seasons for your team, right? And invest with your systems. What are the systems that you're duplicating down? What training are you giving your team? What um, community and culture are you building with your trainings, with your systems, with your challenges? Gosh, in events, Amy and I are hosting a retreat this weekend. Neither of us have ever hosted a retreat, and we are having the most fun planning it because we're just being proactive in that the fall is a busy season for our team. We have a lot of college kids, girls, and we have a lot of teachers, a lot of moms. Okay. And so we're like, you know what? We're going to do an event, a retreat this weekend, this weekend in August, so that we can set them up for excitement in the fall. You're constantly asking questions, asking the good questions, seeking feedback, and of course, are up to date on the promos and the contest. Y'all, there is a lot of little bitty things that go on within this Cancun contest, right? You need to know when your girls ask you, if I add 3 this month, how many points is that going to give me next month? Like, just know the things so that and it's okay if you don't know, like, go find out and then tell them, right? But be proactive in that and in knowing if you add 3 this month, you get 150 points. Okay, next one. You are focused on solutions, not the problems. Okay. We're not in victim mindset. We are in ownership mindset that we are not focused on oh my goodness, this is going wrong, this is going on. What's working well for my team and how can I duplicate that? Okay. Um, yeah, gosh, constantly focusing on what's going wrong is just draining. Talk about like what brings your business anxiety. Okay. You act intentionally instead of emotionally. Man, has this been such a reminder in this season of my business that to be intentional with your girls instead of we're just emotional, right? Especially moms. Like if we're having a bad day, business might not be going well, right? If we're having a good day, like then we're going to be acting fine. So the Lord has just given us emotions for a reason, like feel them, but don't let them affect your business. And we, as our rubies, talk about this a lot about how we can't wait for motivation to like get into momentum, right? We can't wait for motivation to just get us going because it's not based on emotion. It's not based on how you feel. It's based on the goals I put on paper and that I put that to the side and I get to it because I own a business, right? Yeah, not being ruled by emotions. Hello, Miss Lori. All right, one more. You own responsibility, leading by example, and not waiting on others to solve problems. This is just like leadership 101, right? That is being a proactive leader and leading by example. Man, the Lord has taught me so much of that in this past year too, because we're doing an accountability group and you're like, my day is done, but actually I only sent 2 messages instead of the 5 messages that we said we were going to send, right? That's not complete. That is not done. Being a leader, they know the way, they go the way, they show the way, right? All right, talking about seasons, I'm ready for this one. Um,
Okay, y'all, it's really fun because when Allie came and asked us to host this call, she said, "You guys are in a lot of momentum right now. I want to know what you've done to create the momentum." And so we got to talking about it, and I was like, the momentum didn't just show up. The momentum started back in April. When there was no momentum. I mean, we were like, I don't know if anybody else felt like this spring, winter and spring, but it was just, I felt like I was just pulling teeth, dragging people through the mud, trying to get somewhere. And I was like, you know what? Summer's coming. This is our opportunity to create new great habits. And so got in contact with Jordan. I was like, hey, let's figure out something that we can do to help our people create good, consistent habits before school starts again. Because historically, when school starts, things get hard. The schedules are new. People have, sports and all of that. And so it took thinking ahead and planning ahead and just getting in consistent habits for the last like nearly 120 days. And now we're starting to see the fruit of it. And that's how seasons in your business work. It's just like owning a farm. You're going to have seasons where you plant and seasons where you harvest. You're going to have seasons when there's a lot of rain and you're going to have seasons of drought. You're going to have seasons when the weeds grow and it chokes things out. And y'all, even in the Bible in Ecclesiastes, he tells us that there's a time and a season for everything under the sun. And so that naturally is going to include our businesses. And it's not necessarily something to be afraid of, but we do have to prepare. So what do some of these seasons look like? We talked about school starting, summer vacations, people are going to be in and out. And then some people may have more time, our teachers have time to spend a little more time on their business. But then they're also wanting to soak up time with their families. Um, and then you hit the holidays, and there's all kinds of financial stress with people buying their gifts and they don't have the money. So that can affect, your VIP signups. All of these things are natural ebbs and flows of this business. And the cool thing is, y'all, we work for a company that plans around these things. I mean, like, why do you think we're starting a trip contest September 1st? They know that this is a time of year that it's harder for people, so they're incentivizing us to get to work. Um, you can also look at that calendar and say, hey, like what is going to impact my VIP's routines, finances? What kind of energy is coming next month? So it doesn't necessarily have to be a negative season. There are very positive seasons in this business too, but be planning ahead so that you can capitalize on those seasons. Okay, Expect the dip. Don't be afraid of it. Y'all, seasons aren't failure. Difficult seasons aren't failure. They're normal and they're temporary. But if you live in your business always saying, "Oh, I'm just in a season," or "Oh, it's just I'm just giving myself grace because I'm in a season." Well, grace is a great thing, and you do need to give yourself grace because there are times that seasons are really hard for us financially, in our families, just personal things. So you do need to give yourself grace, but make sure you're not giving yourself so much grace that you're letting yourself off the hook. Okay. And relying on that idea that you're just in a season can also trick your mind into believing that you're doing everything you can, there's nothing else you can do, and it will eventually pass. But if you don't like the season that you're in, hop in the car and travel to a new climate. Find somewhere else to grow, right? You have to be in action consistently. And just like we talked about with the farming, my in-laws were farmers. And so um, it's a 24/7 job. Yes, there are seasons of growth and harvest, but they're working that farm every single day. So that means you have to be working whether the season is in your favor or not. It's the leaders who quit working when things are hard that fail. So being a proactive leader, they adjust their mindset to this is just is part of the rhythm. It's not a sign to quit. And of course, we hear our amazing diamond leader say all the time, don't quit on a bad day. And I can't remember who it was I heard say this the other day, but they said, if you're going to quit, wait till you hit a new rank and then quit. Because you're less likely to make an emotional move when you've just hit a bunch of momentum, right? I mean, who would quit when things are going good? But it's easy to quit when you think they're going bad. You can also compare this to our health journey. Like we tell everybody, give it 90 days, right? But if you've ever tried to lose weight, you know that you do really well, the pounds start falling off, and then all of a sudden you hit this plateau, right? And you're like, oh, dang, I'm just not doing enough, or I'm not eating right, or I need to exercise more. But it's just a plateau that's setting you up for the next big jump in your wins, right? It's like a forest fire. A fire comes through and it burns the forest and just so much destruction. But then when it starts raining again, the soil has been enriched with some amazing nutrients, and the growth happens really rapidly after that. So during the season of growth, during the hard seasons, use them as or look at them as a season of growth. Start planting seeds of relationship. Start following up with old people. Make new conversations and new relationships and start adding value even when it feels slow. And y'all, I mean, this is a business that it requires consistency, and we can all probably raise our hand right now and talk about the days that you just didn't want to do it even when things are going good. And today was one of those days for me. I'm just going to be completely honest. We're getting ready for this retreat, and I just didn't want to today, but I did. And I'm so glad I did because I signed a new VIP. So showing up when it's hard is when you're going to have the most growth. Conversations and consistency built during difficult times is what's going to pay off huge later. So just ask yourself, what can I do today that my future self and business will thank me for later? Okay. Also, we're going to prepare with a plan. So, just like Jordan was talking about earlier, 6 month plan, 9 month plan, start planning ahead. We don't always know what our teams are going to look like, but if you have some things in place that you can adjust to fit who has come into your team, then you're going to have so much momentum coming your way. Have a seasonal strategy ready before the months hit. And I love that, what Jordan and I started in May was an accountability group. We did a 5 day a week challenge of IPA, and it built a lot of consistency moving into summer. And then we did our summer pods, and it just kept building. And then so that went through July, and then we are just now finishing up another accountability group with IPA, and it's been so fun to see the number of rank ups on our team. the new girls that are getting started and adding new people. It's just been a lot of fun, and it's so rewarding to see that hard work and consistency pay off. So when you're getting back to school, maybe do things like share tips for energy, stress support, immunity. At the holidays, be proactive about talking about gut health. And our company is great about having incentives for our VIPs. So make sure that you are teaching your team how to post around that, how to talk about it, how to message about it. And then, just like I was saying earlier, we have the summer accountability groups. Um, but one of the best things you can do for your team is to equip them with scripts and resources that they can easily get to and they know where to go. Um, this is also the hard seasons are a great time to plan those one-on-one strategy calls with your business builders just to help them with mindset because the reality is if you're struggling, they're probably struggling too. And if you can sit down and build each other up, figure out a plan, and teach them how to go anyway, you're both going to get through it successfully. Help them with scheduling good habits and hold them accountable. You're up, Jordan.
Yay. Yeah, sorry. I was unmuting.
I couldn't say anything.
You're great. Doubling down on community, guys, the culture that you've built with your team. You've ever heard like hurt people, right? People in hard seasons give people a hard time, right? Like sometimes they're not always the best encouragement. And so hard seasons, yes, can discourage us. So being a proactive leader and leaning into that culture with all of these things, encouragement, everything that Amy just said, lots of hype. You are the energy for your team. You can be in a hard season and still bring the energy. I mean, our team is living proof of this, right? Amy was just talking about the monthly accountability groups, and it takes time, y'all. It takes time, intentionality, energy to run an accountability group, to coordinate it, to be consistent in you doing your IPA and sending it every morning when you wake up at 5:30 a.m. It it takes energy, but it's such a joy. It is, we have had so much fun these last couple of months with these accountability groups. Recognition. We on our team, we've kind of been talking about like we've got these big goals, right? Whatever your goals are within the leaders retreat contest. But like set those mini goals, like have something to celebrate every single day. I sent 5 new messages. Like I'm gonna freaking celebrate. Ooh, words, Jordan. The heck out of myself, right? Like I am going to have fun because I did something. Like nowhere in my life is anyone celebrating me. Y'all, I mopped my whole floor today and I was literally so tired, sweating. It was silly. But I was like, no one in our lives is coming in and celebrating little things like we get to do on our team, right? We get to celebrate the smallest of things like, girl, that post was incredible and you showed your face on your stories. It really, truly is the little things and bringing that energy. And sometimes it's also so fun to encourage someone else to encourage that person in that. So sometimes I will go to like a sideline of mine and I'm like, will you go tell her like how great this was? Because maybe she just needs to hear it from someone else. Like building that culture of we're here to encourage and to win because we can truly find wins when you're proactive, when you're doing your IPA, when you're showing up. And so I had one thing on the season thing because I think Amy and I are about to be not saying the word season anymore because just like a little of my story, I was pregnant with my third. I knew things were going to be crazy, right? All the postpartum things, hormones, schedule, no sleep, all the things. But I also knew like my team was ready to go emerald. Y'all, we went emerald like 3 months, 4 months postpartum. And I knew that was I knew it was going to be a hard season. So like we see how, and I'm not saying if you're postpartum right now and you're in like the depths of postpartum and you're not doing well, no shame in that either. But it's just something that I was being proactive in and we planned for. But you know what I didn't plan for was after going emerald because I thought we could just coast, right? And so now Amy and I have really learned that okay, it's not it, the rank and the numbers, it's not it. It's how we truly create this culture in our team of being proactive all the time. I don't have to be proactive just 6 months out of the year because that's not being a business owner. That's not owning and truly living out the ownership of our business, right? And so man, it's been so fun. So go ahead to 10, and we will about to be done, guys. Showing up for the winter makes the spring harvest so much bigger. I love that. I love all the farming. Just want to encourage y'all, like the intentions. Sometimes I think we sit down and we don't know what to do, right? We don't know how to work. You've been in this so long. Maybe you haven't been in this so long, but still you're like, my IPA seems so incredibly hard right now. Would you find accountability? Would you find the energy and just the motivation within yourself? Watch a podcast, listen to a podcast, watch a motivational video. Our thing in our IPA in our accountability group today was not a training. It was not a diamond documentary. It was like straight up motivation because sometimes we just need that. So thank y'all so much for hopping on. Amy, if you have anything else.
I don't, I was just checking the chat to make sure there were no questions or comments. But you guys are awesome. Thank you for having us, and we love you. And let's just go kick these seasons in the butt.
Yep. Bye, guys.
Bye.